everyone, we are looking at Daily Common Core Review number 6. You can choose if you want to try it on your own first and then come back to the video to check your work, but make sure you watch the whole thing and match my page exactly. Or if you just want to go ahead and do it with me, you can do that too. Still, make sure your page matches mine exactly. Alrighty, let's look at number 1. It says, write the matching equation. Matching means it has to match exactly. An equation is a number sentence with an equal sign. And then we have 56 is the same as, which means equals. 8 groups of means multiplication. And 7. So I just have to make it match exactly. It's going to start with 56 equals 8 times 7. And I know it's an equation, so I need an equal sign, so I am correct. All right, number 2. Write a matching expression. Expression means with no equal sign. To show 2 groups of, that means multiply, 4. So to make it match exactly, 2 times 4. All set. Moving on, number 3. First, I'm going to do my UPS check, so I'm on the understand part. I'm going to read and understand. The controller costs $7, and the box of video game, oh, that should say games, costs $56. How many times more does the video game cost than the controller? First, I'm going to bracket my question, then underline important info, and code and label my hints. So controller, that's $7. The video games are $56. Then it says how many times more, so I don't know how many times, so I'm going to put a question mark. X does the video game cost than the controller? Okay. So when I'm planning, I know I'm going to multiply because it says how many times. And I know I'm comparing two things, the controller and the video games. So I'm going to set up a multiplication comparison problem. In these types of problems, how many times always comes first. Now, I don't know how many times it is because I have a question mark next to X. But that's okay. I can still draw my line, draw my arrow. Question mark times blank equals blank. Okay, so I have the number 7 and I have the number 56. For the types of problem that we're doing, the total is going to come at the end. So I know 56 is going to come here. And 56 goes with the video games. So I'm going to label that VG for video games. So I know if video games is at the end, it's also going to have to be at the beginning. Video games. The video games is versing the controller. And I do have a number for the controller that goes with $7. So I'll put 7 right here. And now I can think how many times 7 equals 56. If I know that, I can just write the answer. But if I'm not sure, I can use my calculator to check. I could do 56 divided by 7 equals, and you are going to get an answer of 8. So put an 8 right here and circle it. Okay, now I'm going to write my complete sentence. Check the question. How many times more does the video game cost than the controller? The video game costs 8 times, or you could also just put 8 times. I'm fine with that too, either way. 8 times more than the controller. Check to make sure your answer is reasonable. It does make sense that the video game would be 8 times more, and I can double check on my calculator if I want. All right, number 4. Zoom in here. Okay. I'm going to read and understand first, so visualize this problem. We have 49 kids in the class. We need to put them into 7 teams. How many kids are in each team? Okay, bracket your question. Underline important info, code and label hints. 49 kids, that's our total number of kids in the class. So I know the total. That means I'm either dividing or subtracting. I have to figure out which one. Let's see, we're putting them into 7 teams. Groups and teams are like the same thing. We can say we're putting them into 7 teams or 7 groups. So this is groups. So I know if it's groups, it can't be subtraction. It has to be division. So I'm going to put a division symbol off to the side here so I know that I have to divide. And then it says how many kids are in each team. That's like in each group. So I'm solving for in each group. So when I'm planning, I know I'm going to have to set up a division problem. Total divided by groups equals in each group. So the total I know is 49. The groups or the teams I know is 7. And then it makes sense in each group is our variable, which makes sense because it's in the question. So now I can think 7 times what gets me to 49 to solve it, or I can put it in my calculator, but you're going to get an answer of 7, and we're going to label that 7 kids. Go ahead and circle that as your final answer. Then we can write our sentence. How many kids are in each team? There are 7 kids in each team. All right, let's check to see if our answer is reasonable. I would say if there's 49 kids, putting them in 7 teams, 7 kids in each team would make sense. And also double check your work with a calculator if you didn't already. All right, number 5. Read and visualize. Nick typed a 2,526 word paper. Kenna typed a 3,826 word paper. About how many more words, W, that's our variable, did Kenna type than Nick? So let's bracket the question, underline important info, and code and label our hints. I see the word about. I'm going to put a star above it. That means I have to round. Let's see. We've got Nick here. He typed 2,526 words. And Kenna, who typed 3,826 words. Oh, and it says here how many more. I know from my math windows that is a subtraction hint word. So I know I'm going to subtract, and my math windows say there's 2 different kinds of subtracting problems. I can see that I'm comparing Nick and Kenna, so I'm going to set this up like a bigger, smaller difference problem. So I see 3,826, that's my bigger number. I'm going to label that with a B. 2,526 is my smaller number. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the problem up bigger. 3,826 minus smaller, 2,526, bigger, minus smaller, equals the difference. But I'm not going to solve yet, because I can't forget that my sentence says about. About means I have to round. So I'm going to draw an arrow for my rounding. And if I look at my rounding rules poster that's up by the windows, I see the first thing to do is underline the place. Now, the problem doesn't tell us which place we need to round to. So if it doesn't tell us, we know we always round to the biggest place. In this problem, the biggest place is my thousands place, which my 3 is in. So I'm going to underline the 3, circle the 8 to the right, and say the phrase, 5 or above, give the underline a shove. Since the 8 is above 5, my underline number, my 3, goes up 1. So I change my 3 to a 4, and everything to the right becomes a 0. Then I have to round my next number, underline the place, doesn't tell me which place, so I'm going to round to the biggest place, which is my thousands place again. Underline the 2. Circle the number to the right. Again, it's 5 or above, so I give the underline a shove. So my 2 shoves up to a 3, and everything to the right changes to a 0. Now I can subtract 0, 0, 0, and 4 minus 3 equals 1 to get 1,000, and that would be 1,000 words. Circle my answer. Almost done, but not quite yet. I need to write a complete sentence. Don't forget the word about in your sentence to show that it's not an exact answer, it's a rounding answer. So, about how many more words did Kenna type than Nick? Kenna typed about, don't forget about, 1,000 more words than Nick. Period. Make sure it seems reasonable. If I have 2,526 and 3,826, it seems like the difference would be about 1,000 words there. Makes sense to me. You can always double check your work on the calculator, or on the calculator try to find the real answer and see if it comes close to about 1,000, because then you know you're really reasonable. Okay, one more. Number 6. Mr. Pete was born in 1964, and Mr. Hutz was born in 1983. If this was true, how much older is Mr. Pete than Mr. Hutch? All right, bracket the question. We've got how much older is Mr. Pete than Mr. Hutch. We know that how much older is a hint word that means subtraction. We're comparing two people, Mr. Pete and Mr. Hutch, so we're going to think bigger minus smaller to get the difference. So let's see, I have 1964. That's my smaller number that belongs to Mr. Pete. And I have 1983, which is my bigger number, that belongs to Mr. Hutch. Now I'm going to go ahead and subtract bigger, 1983, minus smaller, 1964. So bigger minus smaller. It's going to get us the difference. And now I am going to subtract. So 3 minus 4. More on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. Cross out your 8, we're taking 10 away, so it becomes a 7. Cross out your 3, we're adding 10, so it becomes 13. 13 minus 4 equals 9. 7 minus 6 equals 1. 9 minus 9 is 0. 1 minus 1 equals 0. If I have zeros to the left of my answer, I don't need them. I can cross them out, and I get an answer of 19. 19 what? 19 years. Let's write our sentence. Check your question. How much older is Mr. Pete than Mr. Hutch? Mr. Pete is 19 years older than Mr. Hutch. Make sure that it makes sense that Mr. Pete would be about 19 years older. And then you can also, for this one, definitely double check on a calculator to make sure you did all your regrouping right and make sure that your calculator says it's 19 years. All right, good job. That is it for Daily Common Core for today. We're going to move on to the next task. Here we go. Okay, next thing, we are working on our 9s. Let's see what you remember about those multiples. I'm going to zoom in so we can write the multiples of 9 together. While you are writing them, whisper, say them out loud with me. Ready? Go. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81. All right, now we've got the rest of the page to work on. Here we go. While I'm doing this, see if you can beat me by getting to the answer faster than I do. So a little race the teacher. See how you do. Ready? Here we go. 9 times 8, 1 less, 72. 4 times 9, 1 less, 36. 9 times 2, 1 less, 18. 9 times 9, 1 less, 81. 2 times 9, 1 less, 18. 5 times 9, 1 less, 45. 9 times 7, 1 less, 63. 9 times 4, 1 less, 36. 8 times 9, 1 less, 72. 3 times 9, 1 less, 27. 9 times 2, 1 less, 18. 9 times 6, 1 less, 54. 3 times 9, 1 less, 27. 9 times 5, 1 less, 45. 9 times 2, 1 less, 18. 9 times 6, 1 less, 54. 4 times 9, 1 less, 36. 9 times 5, 1 less, 45. 6 times 9, 1 less, 54. 8 times 9, 1 less, 72. 7 times 9, 1 less, 63. 9 times 8, 1 less, 72. 5 times 9, 1 less, 45. 9 times 9, 1 less, 81. 9 times 5, 1 less, 45. 9 times 4, 1 less, 36. 2 times 9, 1 less, 18. 9 times 2, 1 less, 18. All right, am I done? Oh, no, I'm not. I still have 3 more rows to go. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit faster. See if you can keep up with me, or even better, see if you can beat me. Ready, set, go. 2 times 8, 1 less, 18. 4 times 9, 1 less, 36. 3 times 9, 1 less, 27. 8 times 9, 1 less, 72. 9 times 6, 1 less, 54. 9 times 7, 1 less, 63. 4 times 9, 1 less, 36. 9 times 6, 1 less, 54. 9 times 3, 1 less, 27. 5 times 9, 1 less, 45. 6 times 9, 1 less, 54. 3 times 9, 1 less, 27. 4 times 9, 1 less, 36. 9 times 7, 1 less, 63. I can't read this one on my screen. Oh, 9 times 9, 1 less, 81. 6 times 9, 1 less, 54. 9 times 9, 1 less, 81. 8 times 9, 1 less, 72. 9 times 7, 1 less, 63. 9 times 5, 1 less, 45. 9 times 8, one less, 72. Okay, last time we're going to write the multiples of 9 one more time so we never, ever, ever forget. I'm going to do it in my Batman voice, but you better do it in your whisper voice because you don't want to bother all the other kids learning around you. Whisper it with me, though. You've got to say it out loud. I don't know if I heard you last time. Make sure you do it, but in a whisper voice. Ready? I am Batman. Here we go. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81. Okay, wait for your teacher to come back for the next task. This is Batman. Miss Marnick will be back later. Goodbye. Alright, before you get into this video, get your math notebook. Open it up to pages OA2 and OA3. They're at the very, very beginning, right behind your first table of contents. Make sure what you're looking at is the same as what I have here on the screen. It's for OA1, multiplication as comparisons. Okay, our I can statement for today is I can interpret a multiplication equation as a comparison. So this is really close to what we've been doing with expressions and equations. Well, it's not really close, it's the same thing. We're just going to be writing some equations. So the little chalkboard or chart there in front, words and phrases that tell us to multiply. Go ahead and underline multiply right there and put a multiplication sign. You can circle it. And whisper, say these words with me so you're not too loud and making people around you look around. So whisper them with me. Ready? Of, times as many as, groups of, multiply by, product of. Anytime you see any of those words, you are going to multiply. The other side of the board says words and phrases that mean equal to. That's your equal sign. So go ahead and put an equal sign there so you know what we're talking about. Then whisper read all of the words that mean equals with me. Is, equals, equal to, same as. So you can see on the pages in the clouds, we're going to write a bunch of equations that match. To make sure we're getting it right, we're going to code and label our problems. So the first one, circle 45. We know is means equal because it says up on our chart there. 3 times as many as means times 15. Then it wants us to write an equation, so we're going to need an equal sign. So 45 equals 3 times 15. Try the next one. The product of 3 and 5 equals 15. Product means we are going to multiply. We have 3, we have 5, we have equals, which means equal sign, duh, and we have 15. So the product of means multiply, so 3 times 5 equals 15. It said we needed an equation, so we needed an equal sign, and we have one. Next one, 6 groups of means multiply. 8 is equal to, that means equals, 48. It wants an equation that's a number sentence with an equal sign. So I'm going to go ahead and make a matching equation. 6 times 8 equals 48. All right, next page, OA3. We have 63 is equal to, that means equals, 7 times as many as means multiply, 9. It wants another equation, so I need to make sure I have an equal sign. 63 equals 7 times 9. Perfect. Next, cloud. The product of, I know product means multiply, 8 and 7 is tiny, tiny little word, but it means equals. And it is 56. Again, I need an equation, a number sentence with an equal sign. So 8 times 7 equals 56. Next cloud. 4. Groups of means multiply. 5 items is the same as, that means equals, 20 items. Again, I need an equation, so I need to have an equal sign. Make it match exactly. 4 times 5 equals 20. All right, last one. 28. This tiny little word is means equals. 4 times as many means multiply as 7. An equation, a number sentence with an equal sign. 28 equals 4 times 7. And you are all set. We are done with the math notebook. Go back to your Daily Common Core packet and flip to the next page that we have left to do. Okay, we just got done with the math notebook. Now turn to this section in your packet. We're going to work on this now. We're going to talk about expressions versus equations. So we learned from the math word wall the difference between those two. So I want you to quietly in your seat, mirror along with me, whisper, do the gestures. Seriously, really do it. Don't just sit there. Let's do it. Ready? Mirror. An expression is a number sentence with no equal sign. I hope you're doing the gestures. An equation is a number sentence with an equal sign. Stop. Okay, so it's going to be really, really important that you pay attention to if you have to write an expression or an equation for each problem. So, first one says, let's zoom in on this a little more so you can see it better. Okay. It says 3 times as many, I'm going to circle the 3, times as many means multiply, as 4. It's an expression, so I don't want an equal sign, no equal sign. So I'm going to write 3 times 4, and you can write your little clue word there. Okay, next I have 5 times as many as 6. Circle the 5 times as many as 6. This time it's an equation, so I need an equal sign. So 5 times 6 equals, and then you have to know the answer is 30. Next, 7 times as many means multiply as 2. This one is an equation again, so I need an equal sign. 7 times 2 equals 14. Then I have 8 times as many as means multiply, and 9. This time it's an expression, so no equal sign. That's good. That makes it easier for us. We can just write 8 times 9 and stop. All right, 2 times as many as means multiply, 5. This time, equation, equal sign. 2 times 5 equals 10. Make sure you put that equal sign and put the answer. All right, 6 times as many as multiply 4. This time, expression, so no equal sign. I can just write 6 times 4 and stop. Next one, 4 times as many as 5. We're multiplying again. We need an expression again. Good, that makes it easy. 4 times 5, no equal sign, stop. And finally, the last one, 9 times as many as, multiplication sign, 2. This time we need an equation, so I need an equal sign here. 9 times 2 equals, and think in your head, 1 less, 18. All right, there you go. Let's move on to the next thing. Alrighty, last one here. Flip to the page that says 1-5 multiplication as comparisons. Your first set of directions says write an equation that matches the problem. Notice equation, think about what that means. It's going to have an equal sign. So before you do this for any problem, I want you to code and label what it says. So 7 times as many means multiply. 9 is equal to means equal. 63. Now make it match exactly. 7 times 9 equals 63. Remember, if you do this, 9 times 7 equals 63. While that's still true, it's not right because it doesn't match the equation exactly. 7 is what has to come first. Let's try number 2. 30 is the same as means equals. 10 groups of means multiply. 3. 30 equals 10 times 3. All right, number 3. The product of 2 and 4 equals 8. You need to know that product means we multiply. So check your word wall if you forgot that. 2, 4 equals, equal sign, 8. Then make it match exactly. The product of 2 and 4, so that would be 2 times 4 equals 8. Number 4. 8 groups of means multiply. 9 is the same as means equals. And 72. Make it match. 8 times 9 equals 72. All right, last one in this section, number 5. 15 is the product of, we know that means multiply, 5 times 3. So we don't actually need 2 multiplication signs to write this, but we definitely know we're going to multiply because it gives us 2 clues. So 15, ooh, we forgot this little word is. That means equals. Make sure you don't miss that. 15 equals 5 times 3. All right, this last section here is going to require you to do a little bit more of writing because the directions say write a sentence that matches the equation. So we can use any of the phrases that we know means equals and multiplies to write this. So there's more than one right way to do it. What I'm going to show you here are just some examples. It's okay to just put the numbers in. We want the words for the multiplication sign and the equal sign. So let's see. I could say 9 times as many as 3 equals 27. That's one way I could say it. There's a lot of different ways, but that's an example. Let's see, I could say 27 is the same as 9 times 3. Let's see, I'm going to change it up for this last one. Why don't I say 3 groups of 9 is equal to 27. All right, great job with expressions and equations today. I will see you later.